Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Apocalyptic Optimath. You're listening to the Apocalyptic Math channel. The Apocalyptic Optimath channel. Welcome. This is your unhumble and unholy host, Lucifer, King of Hell, also known as Seth. So how you guys doing? I hope you guys doing good. I hope you guys doing great. Um, like I said, thank you guys for your support. By the way, maybe you didn't listen to my last video till the end, but I feel like I had a great idea. Like I said, I would like to open the School of Scolomancy, but in order to do that, I need more teachers. I need more teachers to come in. I need more spiritual teachers to come in. Spiritual teachers that know their stuff in and out. Because I don't need you. I don't write to make these videos. I don't write shit. I just think about something I want to talk about and I talk about it. And you can do it the same way. What we can do is we can make a compendium. We can make a compendium of all of our gathered knowledge and put it all in one place. Like I could create a website. I could create a website. We put it all in one place. Or, well, that's one idea. What we could do, because we're not gonna give a bunch of business idea to a bunch of people. But what we could do, one thing we could do is we could put all of our gathered knowledge into one place and one website and make it a monthly, put a monthly fee on it that will help everybody, make an extra, $5, $10, $20 a month. I don't know, something like that. But I understand it's not for everybody because, well, you would have to show your face, and I would have to promote the website in order for it to be lucrative. In order to have some energy, bro, because there's no point into putting energy into this project if you don't want that energy to come back. And a lot of people right now, they put energy in things. The way people think, the way you think is, I don't mind putting energy into something, but I don't want any energy back. That's what people usually tell me. And I'm not trying to diss nobody. I'm not trying to say nothing wrong. That's what people usually say, especially people in our community, like people that consider themselves like indigo, starseed and everything, because they think in their minds that not being paid is a good thing. Which it's not. It's a lie. It's a lie invented by the demiurge to make you fall into the holes, right? Make you fall into gaps, make you fall into holes. It's a trap, because at the end of the day, because there's two languages, right? When you say something, not everybody is aware that when they say something, they're also speaking an other alien dialect that we are not necessarily all aware of, and you're doing more than one thing. The great Sun Tzu once said to his master, because he had a master once, the great Sun Tzu once said to his master, when I speak, I feel like I say three things at the same time. But he said, but you, master, when you speak, it feels like you're saying 10 things at the same time. That's because, you're when you're saying something, you might be aware. If you're aware of more than one discipline, and some of those disciplines are actually, like, let's say you're agricultural person, there's certain things that you're going to use in your speech patterns that's going to remind you of another dimension, your agricultural dimension. But you might be in an office setting, right? You might be in an office setting and you might be able to speak in an office setting fashion, but there's still things that's going to remind you of that agricultural thing that you had going on, business that you have going on. So when you talk, you're actually saying two things at the same time, not necessarily on purpose, and you can do it on purpose if you want to also, right? Or well, does it really matter? Not really, because it doesn't affect anything. It's just that you're saying more than one thing. But where it affects things is in, you got to be careful of what, like, if we take money for instance, right? Like what I said, I am willing to put in energy in whatever you're doing, but I don't want any energy back. So that translates to, I don't mind helping you for free, but I don't want any money, right? Or I don't want to make, like, I'm not comfortable with charging people. When you say things like that, what you're actually saying is, I don't mind putting my energy into the universe, but I don't want the universe to give me any energy back so I can keep doing what I do. That's what you're saying. So anyways, no pun intended, no offense, man. I know a lot of you guys are going to be triggered by that, and that's not my fault. I'm just here to, don't shoot the messenger. You know, I'm just, I don't shoot the messenger. So, yeah, I was thinking about that. We could do something like that. It would be very interesting, man. It would be very interesting. And that's one, I mean, it's a good segue, more or less. It's a good segue because I was thinking about, like, you know, apprenticeships and things like that. And, you know, I don't do a lot of those. There's a reason, because I practice very high magic. It's not for everybody. You know, you can't start from, I mean, I could teach a person that just started magic, but you need a base. You need a base, and in order to even start to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, you need a base. You know, you need a base of magic. You need to be aware of, you have at least read one grimoire in your entire life and remember more than at least 20% of it, you know, in order to even start the conversation, you know. So, and for the ladies, of course, it's always free. You know, but one thing you need to understand is, I don't take treachery lightly, and disloyalty either. You know, you betray me or you lie to me, and you can kiss your butt goodbye. You know, like that's one thing. Like, you can kiss your butt goodbye. Like, you know, so apart from that, it's all good. You know, everything's all hunky dory. You know, like that's my only thing. That I do have a lot of rules, and you know, I would say don't worry about those rules too much. You know, because like I said, it depends on your level of understanding. It depends on your level of understanding and know-how. But you know, at the position where I am, I understand that there's a lot of things that you don't know. So since there's a lot of things that you don't know, it's gonna seem like I'm imposing a lot of rules. Like, you know, I think Iyoko Edding, no offense, but we haven't seen him in quite some time. But I remember this video I watched, and he was complaining that he went to Haiti, and you know, they made him sweep the floor and shit like that. Well, that's good. That's how it's supposed to be. There's some people that are too rebellious to actually be able to take advantage of those little moments. He might have felt left, cast to the side because he was white. That could have been the issue why he felt like uncomfortable, sweeping the floor and stuff like that. Or he could just be so used to free falling and free balling with his magic, with his own magical practices, rituals, that he felt like sweeping the floor was a little bit underwhelming. But I will ask of you the same. There's things you have to, because at the end of the day, that's how the master knows you're ready or you're not ready. If you can't sweep the floor, you can't do what I do. Because I had to sweep the floor. When I first started doing magic, so when you do magic, and the funny contradiction is when you're a ritualistic magician, right? When you do rituals to do magic, you gotta clean the space every fucking time, almost every time. And if you don't clean the space every time, sometimes you can let it like as is for a moment, depending on what you're doing, depending on what the ritual is. But eventually you're gonna have to pick up all of the stuff laying around from the past rituals, so you're gonna have to clean the floor. So how disrespectful is it for me to give you the most important task in the day? It's not. And I will know that you're ready or not based on how well you're sweeping. Because if you do it half-heartedly, that means you're going to do this ritual half-heartedly. That means your heart is half-hearted, half in it. You're half in, half out. Right? If you get frustrated, there's a reason why you're frustrated. And it's sure not because you're sweeping the floor. It has something to do in your life that you need to sweep, that you need to vacate. So sweeping the floor is a spiritual practice, because now like if you start sweeping the floor and you're already frustrated, there's a reason why that is. There's a reason why that is, bro. But the question is, what is it? So now we have to talk. So, there's small things that masters will ask you to do that looks completely benign and pointless, but it's actually quite the opposite. It's the most important task before doing the ritual and after sometimes. It's a task that I should be doing. It's a task that shows that I have confidence in you. If I even ask you to sweep the floor, is because I'm already thinking that you might have some sort of potential, right? Or else I wouldn't ask you to do that. Because not only that, but you're sweeping the floor, your energy. This is your energy. We're going to do a ritual on your plane, right? Some masters do that. Some masters will make you sweep the floor, and then they're going to do a ritual with your energy. This has happened to me before. This has happened to me before. I have met or been in rituals where people used my energy as a platform to do it on. And since you have goodwill and your energy is good and you vibrate at a high frequency, the ritual will then it's gonna help the ritual. And there is a difference. You can tell the difference when somebody has good energy. The person that just swept the floor had good energy, and then you do a ritual, and somebody that didn't have good energy, sweep the floor, and then you do a ritual. There's a difference. You're gonna see the difference. It's palpable. The Illuminati does that too to people without them noticing. Little tests like that. So you might see it as rules and things like that, and might seem boring, but sometimes the things that look boring are the most fun. So anyway, but that takes a lot of introspection, and most masters are not going to make a student self-retrospect like that indefinitely, because it's a business. At the end of the day, everything's a business, so time is money. So I'm gonna put you on this job for a certain amount of time. Whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. Some masters will take more time with specific students because those specific students are better at listening and doing. So those are the prospects, right? Those are the next in line for succession, right? Those guys get more attention. Those guys get more attention because they understand more and they know more. So the more you know, the more understanding you have, the better you are at what you do, the higher the probability of you advancing, right? That's just how it is, with everything and everywhere. It doesn't matter. Don't matter if it's McDonald's, fucking Jesus, but pardon me for saying, it don't matter what it is, Lucifer, whatever. It doesn't matter, fucking video games, anything. Everything is like that. Everything works that way. So this is what I'm talking about like, there's certain rules in, even if you're a chaos magician, even if you love chaos, there's absolutes that you cannot go around. If you throw a stone in the air, it's gonna come back down. Nobody yet has the ability to physically use their hand to throw a rock in the air and that rock to stay in the air. The day that you'll be able to do that, we're gonna have a different conversation, right? And even that's an absolute at that point. So that's the thing about rules. Rules don't change. Absolutes are not supposed to change. Well, absolutes can't change, but rules can change, and people can choose to not follow the rules and have no consequence. And there's always a consequence to not following the rules. But when you deal in absolution, not listening to the absolute you're going to get hit with a severe consequence. Like if you decide to be like, I don't care that rocks fall down, I'm still gonna jump over this fucking building and expect to fly, and then you die, right? That's a severe consequence because you didn't want to listen to the absolute, right? It's an absolute. Everybody, that's just how it is. If you jump over a fucking bridge, you're gonna fucking die, dude. It is what it is. And yeah, we're trying to bend those rules, but in order to bend those rules, there's absolutes that you need to follow in order to be able to bend. So there's levels, and if you want to properly conduct yourself on a specific level, you have to listen to the absolutes, and the absolutes are higher than rules. Rules are man-made. Absolutes are absolutes, right? So if you're aware of the absolutes on this level, you'll be better at what you do, and then you can hop on another level where there's going to be a different kind of absolute, right? So it's kind of like what I was saying, the guy that can throw the rock in the air and then it stays in the air. Well, now we're in another level of absolutes. But in this area, there's a reason why he can throw the rock in the air and it stays there. And this person becomes a master, and this person has his absolute, because in his, if he had no absolutes, then he would technically, so if there was no absolute, we would be talking about a guy that has the ability to throw a rock in the air and it stays in the air, but it never stays in the air, right? It's a contradiction. It's a conundrum, right? It doesn't make sense, So, so there has to be absolutes, right? So then he can explain it to somebody else on how he was able to throw the rock and it stayed in the air. If that wasn't the case, it would be a weird fucking way to live, because you'd be like, oh, this guy knows karate but can't do karate. That's the kind of world that would be chaotic, right? It would make no sense. It would be fourth dimensional bullshit. Right? It would make no fucking sense. Your legs would be on your head and your arms would be your legs. It wouldn't make fucking sense. So, there's a lot of people that that are marginalized, and they can't listen, and they can't learn because they're too marginalized, and they're going to stay stagnant. They're going to stay in the same place, and they're never going to move forward, right? Mentally or physically. They're just going to be stagnant. If you can't have discernment and understand the process of what you're doing, that if you can't learn, you might as well kill yourself, to be quite honest. Because it's one thing not knowing how to read, living in depression, whatever, have hindrances, physical or mental hindrances. That's one thing. But when you don't want to learn and you can't learn, that's fucked up. Because even a paraplegic person can still learn. Like Stephen Hawking was paraplegic. He couldn't even talk. He still wrote books, and he still had an IQ of 180. So if it wasn't 190. So, so no, there's some people that can't learn. There's some people that don't want to learn, and I say this, and I'm targeting women, I'm targeting women, here a little bit, cause women are prone to not listen, like women love to be listened to, but they never listen when you talk to them. But they love it when you listen to them. They love it when you listen to them, but they won't listen to you. So I'm not saying all women have this trait, but it is true that some women don't listen, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, but you're gonna have to be honest about why you're in front of this master, and you're gonna have to trust yourself that what you have is good enough. Because if you don't trust that what you have is good enough, then I'm not gonna think that what you have is good enough. So you gotta believe in yourself, because a person like me, I'm a demonologist technomancer, right? I'm a technological abyss technomancer. So I can work with a lot of things on a lot of platforms. I don't have a lot of limitations. But if you come at me with lies right off the bat, of course I'm not gonna listen to you. Of course I'm gonna be pissed off, and I'm gonna reject you and shit like that, because you're lying to me. I don't know why you're lying, but I know you're lying. So I'm not gonna, of course you're not gonna have a good reception. It's like disloyalty. I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna do everything for you. I'll flip the world upside down for you, if you're my student or whatever, or a loved one, so don't be disloyal, because then All the shit I just did to that dude, I'm gonna do it to you. You know, like, so don't be disloyal, don't betray me, because that's gonna be your last day on earth, you know. And I'm an Aries, you know, so that's what we do. You know, you don't betray an Aries, because he's going to remove your entire generation's existence from the face of existence. So, you know, but apart from that, you know, everything is hunky dory, you know. And like I said, I think it's a great idea to have to open up the school of scolomancy. I'm gonna be working. I have a lot of projects that I'm gonna be working on. Um, I'm not gonna have any help, unfortunately, because if somebody wanted to help, they would have helped by now. Which is very sad. So this is gonna take me years of hard work in order to finish, which I won't. There's no way I can finish this by myself. It's impossible. I have too much work to do. But I will do it anyway, because it's about the journey and not the destination. But it still sucks. But I am getting a little bit of help from the community, though. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, shit. Just yesterday, I think somebody invited me to one of his podcasts, one of their podcasts. I think Jafar. That helps. That helps. Actually, that helps, man. Um, that helps. You know, things like that. You know, I think we could make like tutorial videos. I think we need people that really knows their shit, though. You don't have to be a professional or anything like that. You don't have to be like a YouTube professional content creator. But especially when we're talking about spirituality, me, I take spirituality very seriously. It is not a joke. It's not a fad or a trend or, you know, something cool to do because all your friends are doing it. I live this my entire life. Like, this is the spirituality is all me. You know, I'm not this way because of a trend. I'm like this because I've been practicing since I was a kid. So, um, yeah. So yeah, I take spirituality very seriously. So that's a good thing, because that means I'm not gonna judge you based on your looks. And I'm not gonna judge you based on your financial standards or standings either. So what I want, like I said before, what I want is people that know their shit, right? And people that don't mind having their face posted up everywhere on the fucking internet, because that's also another thing. Because we have to, if we want people to learn and to attain the level of understanding and basically help the world become a better place, then we need to be serious about what we're doing. And it's not about advertising and commercializing yourself. It's about reaching more people. That's what it's about. It's not about like getting sponsorships and shit like that. It's about reaching people. And the more people we reach, the more people we reach, uh the more we're gonna heal this planet. The more the planet is going to be healed. The more hearts we heal, the more this dimension is going to be healed too. The more it'll go towards a 3D verse or a 5D verse. I would right now we're in the 4D verse. Right now the world has been sent into this pandemonium of fourth dimensional thinking. Me, some people would rather it go back to three-dimensional thinking, which is fine. I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with 3D thinking. I don't think I have a lot of power. I'm godlike. I'm a god, obviously. But I don't think I need to be a god though. Like not for real. Like, is it really? No, it's not. It's not necessary. Why? To do what? Like, like, right? Like, like, for what reason? It's not unnecessary. It's unnecessary amount of power. It's an unnecessary amount of power, dude. It's an unnecessary amount. It is. It's an unnecessary amount of power. What the fuck am I gonna do with all that power? Where am I going? Where am I fucking going? No, seriously. Like, what am I gonna do with all this? Like, what's the purpose? Like, what's the point? So I don't. Based on that fact, I don't mind going back to a 3D verse. But me personally, because of who I am, because of the way that I am, I would rather go towards a fifth dimensional way of thinking. I think the world should be closer to fifth dimensional than fourth dimensional. And I don't have a problem with 3 dimension. There's nothing wrong with 3 dimension, Like, I'm grateful for very simple things. Like, you would be surprised at what I'm grateful for. Like, they're like very small, useless things. I'm grateful for small, useless things, bro. Like, so, anyway, but this fourth dimensional way of thinking where, up is down, right is wrong, nonsense, goggly goop bullshit, everybody's racist, fucking everybody's a pedophile, everybody's a racist, everybody's a fucking rapist, everybody's a fucking this and fucking that and fucking this and that and this and it's ridiculous. The demons and stuff and blah, useless, pointless, garbage, goggly goop, shenanigans. Buffoonery. Yeah, no, we can do this. We can build a platform, and on this platform there's going to be a couple of teachers of my choosings that's going to teach specific things, specific power set, and we're going to call it the School of Scolomancy. I hope people come in on this. Because it would be very cool. I started it actually on my website. I started the School of Scholomance on my website. I had there was a tutorial on how to manipulate the temperature, how to manipulate the environment, how to manipulate the temperature. I had one on vampirism, and there was a third one too. I think it was like lycanthropy. But I don't think it was lycanthropy. I think it was something else. I think it was something else. So in this school, since we're more prone to Luciferianism, I will be teaching personally technomancy because apparently I'm very good at it. I have a very high connection to technomancy, so I will be teaching technomancy. I want somebody to teach lycanthropy. I might teach lycanthropy too because I don't think everybody knows how to do lycanthropy. So the more obscure things I will be teaching myself. But like if you know like laws of attraction or chaos, if you're a chaos magician, if you're into chaos magic, law of attraction, Luciferian the teachings, uh, things like that, or even your own personal magic system that you have. Thought forms. I'm really into thought forms. I think I think that's one of the most awesome things ever. I'm really into thought forms. If you're good at thought forms, that's one thing that you could talk about on in my school of scholarmancy. You can become a teacher about thought forms on my school of scholarmancy, because thought forms are really badass. I mean, that's just fucking crazy. Um, and I'm a big fan of thought forms. Big fan. Big fan. Like huge. Um, because I use a lot of thought forms myself. A lot, and I have a lot of them. I have a lot of souls. I have a lot of souls and things in that manner, and things of those, yeah. So yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So yeah, man, if you come in, you can come in, but um, and yeah, I have been hurt in the past. I have been hurt in the past. Somebody lied to me. Somebody I took in, and this person betrayed me and lied to me, and I do not tolerate such things. You know, um, I'm for real. I am legendary. I'm a king, and I'm king of this world, even. And you're going to have to trust yourself that what I say is true, because I already proved it. But if you cannot come to terms with that notion, that's not my fault. I did what I had to do. So now, if you need to do something, it's your responsibility to do it. Because there's nothing more to be added. There's nothing more to be said. There's nothing more to be proved. I had many battles on YouTube, which I have won with gusto, if I do say so myself. I had many battles in real life that I have won with gusto, if I do say so myself. Um, so I don't have a lot to prove. Like, I don't really have anything to prove. I'm in a space where my space is a space of disbelief, because I like I said, I do very high magic. So even to people that practice magic, my magic is like, what the fuck? Like even people that practice magic is like, what, how the fuck did you do that? Like, so, you know, um, talking about being 10 steps ahead, like I'm that kind of person. Like, I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is a dick. If you've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, I know I'm referencing an anime here, but it's very funny. I always thought Yu-Gi-Oh was the most hilarious cartoon on TV at the time where it was popular, because every time he was about to die, he would say this simple phrase. He would be like, "But wait." And every time he said that, he had the card he needed to win the fucking battle. And it was hilarious because he would always do that. He would always be like, "But wait." So I think there's like a compilation of like Yu-Gi-Oh saying "but wait," on YouTube somewhere, probably. Maybe not too. It's pretty obscure. You really have to pay attention to notice. He's a dick. Yu-Gi-Oh is a bad person. Yu-Gi-Oh deserves to die. I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. And or this anime. It's called Bastard. I love that anime. It's one of my favorites. Very raunchy. It's very lewd, But I love that anime. It's fucking awesome. His name is Bastard. The manga is better. The anime sucks, but the manga is badass. Uh, he's that kind of guy. Like, you think that you had him, but he was like, he had 10 steps prepared before he even got into the battle. So it's like the whole battle was pointless at in some shape or form, because he's so prepared that when you figure out all this necessary precautions that he took before entering the battle, he was like, "There's no way I was gonna win," and he's like, "Yep, pretty much." Like, he's like, "Yeah, that you're pretty fucking screwed." So big fan of that guy. He's awesome. And we're talking about shit where he literally gets his head cut off. His head is off of his body, rolling on the ground, and he still finds a way to come back to life and destroy his opponent. So it's like he's over fucking powered. He's like beyond nonsense. I like characters like that. I'm a big fan of characters like that. So I'm a little bit of the same. I'm a little bit of the same. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. Like, it's like, and that's the sad part. It's like, there's people and powers that are more powerful than the Illuminati living on Earth, and no one has any idea. And for some reason, everybody is like super excited about sucking, 50 cents penis for $2.50. For $2.50, like, I don't know, like $2.75, like, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up shit. I have people coming at me and like be like, "Oh man, they already know what you're gonna do before you even do it." Like, well, what if I told you that I already know that they already know what I'm gonna do before? So I'm like, and what if I told you, and you're gonna be like, "Well, they already know that and I'll be like, "You're right," but what if I already knew that they already knew that I already knew what I was gonna do before I wake up? So I never end. I'm endless. I endless. I'm like, that's the thing. When you look, what I think, what happens when two mirrors look at each other? It's it's infinite, right? Like, it never ends, right? It's like you look at your reflection, and then you see another reflection, so it never stops, right? I'm that kind of person. I'm a person that if you attack, I'm going to come out on top. That's why I call myself King the Conqueror, because there's nothing you can do that's gonna end in you winning. like it's like, there's nothing you can do that's gonna end in you winning, bro. Like, it's pointless. You're fighting the abyss. You're fighting total darkness. You're fighting infinity and beyond, bro. Like, So the question you should ask yourself when you fight a person like me is, it's very fucked up. It's a fucked up position to be in. I don't pity you. Well, yeah, I do kind of pity you, actually. But it's a fucked up situation to be in, because if you fight me, you have to ask yourself when you wake up in the morning, did he know that I was going to do that? And if he knows that I was going to do that, then what the fuck does he has planning for me? Because that's the thing. If you cross my path, there's a high probability that the reason why you cross my path is because you need to be eliminated. You need to be eradicated, right? Like, you need to be disposed of, right? And like, and it's weird, not everybody thinks like that. I used to think like that when I was younger because I was already aware that these people already knew what I was going to do before waking up. So now I had to think further than what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to think further. This is very educational. Listen, read between the lines. Take this information for yourself. By the way, if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. And please subscribe if you like what you hear. Leave a like, leave a comment, and all that good stuff so I can appear on the algorithm on other people's channel. People that are interested in spirituality and whatnot, I can show up on their timelines and so on and so on. So when you have to live in a way that, okay, so what I'm doing right now was already premeditated. The universe already knew I was going to do this. So if so that means he knows that I was going to do this before I did it. So now I have to, so that's the kind of fourth dimensional thinking that you need to have when you're speaking to a person like me. You have to understand that if you're blindly walking through life and you step on my shoes, you have to understand that I knew that you were going to step on my shoes before you stepped on my shoes. And it's not necessarily that I knew that you were going to step on my shoes, because then you would have no free will. But I know that you have the ability to step on my shoes. I'm aware that you could step on my shoes. I'm going to give you an opportunity for you to not step on my shoes in order for you to save yourself from the impending danger and the impending doom that's coming towards you. But most people are blind and they're not aware. So they end up stepping on your shoe. And they think they won because they stepped on your shoe. But the thing is, this person doesn't understand that you already knew that he was going to step on your shoes. And you had plans in motion before he did it. And in the case that he did, you had a contingency in the case that he did step on your shoes, right? So now the person's fucked. So the other day I was having a conversation with some Illuminati guy, right? And I was like, bro, you guys are looking at me, but I don't think the Illuminati understands that there's somebody looking at them. Life never ends. Life is unceasing. It never ends, bro. So if I can lift 100 pounds, somebody can lift 200 pounds. If somebody can lift 200 pounds, somebody can lift 400 pounds. If somebody can lift 400 pounds, somebody can lift 600 pounds. If somebody lifts 600 pounds, somebody else can lift 800 pounds. If I'm powerful, then there's a powerful person. There's another person more powerful. If the Illuminati is more powerful than me and that other person, then there's somebody more powerful than the Illuminati. If somebody's more powerful than the guy that's more powerful than the Illuminati, somebody's more powerful. This is one of my secrets. This is one of my secrets. I will always find a way to destroy you. Like, I will always find a way to destroy you. That's my ability. That's my secret power. My secret ability is that I always will find a way to destroy you, right? Like, where there's a will, there's a way. If you give up, if you meet a wall called the Illuminati and you give up, you're not gonna find power like this. You're not gonna have power like I have because you gave up. And the saying is, when there's a will, there's a way. I have found the way because I had the will. I didn't just see, oh, Illuminati, let's start sucking dick. Because that's what most people do nowadays. They see Illuminati like, all right, let's wet this mouth because we're about to suck some fucking dick up in here, nigga. Fucking Jim Jones, man. Fuck that guy, bro. Fuck all of that guy. You know, like, you know, facts. Like, fuck all of that dude. Like, you know, no, fuck that, bro. Fuck all that. You see, and the worst part is, man, I've been doing a lot of Gangstalicious videos recently, bro, and that's the fucking reason why, bro. That's the fucking reason why. I told you, motherfuckers. I told you guys, I've been going to church, and I feel like I've been going to church by myself. I told you. Y'all didn't want to believe me. Now look at this. You got Jim Jones sucking dick on OnlyFans. Son of a bitch. Come on. Beep. Sorry. I had nothing nice to say. Burn your ears. That's some bullshit, man. That is some bullshit. That's some bullshit. So, that's because motherfuckers need help. No pun intended, no offense meant. They might not need help financially, but you know, I don't think people are out here caring about people, about trying to put people's minds right. I don't think people are out here doing it, man. And the only people doing it is a bunch of dudes that's sucking dick on OnlyFans. Dog, you have no idea how pissed off I am about hearing that, bro. Like, I feel like I feel like breaking everything that's around me right now. Dude, I feel like throwing shit, bruh. Like, I'm containing this anger for the past 3 days because I just heard that shit 3 days ago. Jim Jones is sucking dick on OnlyFans. Get the fuck out of here, bro. And this motherfucker said, apparently, this motherfucker said, I got $1 million. You son of a bitch. I will. Just don't talk to me. That's all. Just don't talk to me, bro. Like, that's. Now, for real, bro. Like, just don't talk to me, man. Just don't talk to me, bro. Like, just fuck it. Just don't address me ever. Fuck you. Like, you know, like, bro, like, why I have to be on OnlyFans, bro? Like, why? What the fuck, bro? Like, what? I know why. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm talking about, man. Anyway, fuck it. So, yeah, I'm trying to, because usually the old me, last year me, would do like a 4-hour long rant about Jim Jones sucking dick. You know, like, and I'm trying to change that because apparently Lucifer doesn't like that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to change my ways here. which pisses me the fuck off. But anyway, so we're not doing that. I didn't even do it by myself because usually I would do that by myself. Usually I'd be like losing my entire shit inside of my room. But it's also the fact that I'm very aware that people are listening in to what I'm saying, like either via microphones or some kind of magic, some kind of hoodoo or whatever the fuck. But apparently, I know that I'm aware that people know exactly what I'm saying in my house all the time. I don't like it, and I'm currently doing something about it too. But I don't like it at all. That's not cool. Uh, so there's a lot of things that I have to stop doing because I'm constantly being monitored, especially by my neighbor. I got like with this one neighbor family bullshit fucking family that monitors all of my activity throughout the day. So it's not very fun. Uh, and the worst part is they're using my own magic against me and shit. Like so it's very annoying. Because at the end of the day, they know everything I know. Well, they don't know everything I know, but if I think about something or I say something or I do something, they're gonna know about it. And then they can use it to their own benefit. So it's not a good thing at all. But I'm about to make him leave the town because I tried leaving like 3 times, probably even 4 times. Nah, 3 times. I tried leaving 3 times. It didn't work. The city itself keeps bringing me back to my mom's house. Like I literally cannot leave. Um, so he's gonna have to leave because I can't. I'm getting extremely tired of this person's existence. Um, yeah. So anyway, like I said, I'm an extremely powerful being. I'm an extremely powerful human being, and I'm gonna show you. I got some more tricks on my sleeve. If you don't believe me, in case that you don't believe me, I got some more tricks up my sleeve. Jim Jones sucking dick on OnlyFans. That's because of me too. I'm fucking these guys up, bro. Like so because that shit makes no sense. And the reason why I think it's me, the reason why is because I think somebody did some voodoo on Jim Jones. Because that shit, what the fuck are you talking about? You sucking dick on OnlyFans for $1 million. There's not one word in that sentence that made any sort of fucking sense. There's not one word in that sentence that makes sense, bro. Not one word. Not one. What the fuck are you talking about? Yo, like, like what the, what in the fuck are you talking about, Jimmy? What the fuck are you talking about, Jim? I don't know what to call him. I ain't gonna call him Jimmy. What the fuck? What is he talking about, man? What? And no, I don't blame what's his face? Young Thug for this. I don't blame him. That's not his fault. I don't blame Young Thug for this. Anybody that blames Young Thug for this is a fucking hater. Cause he ain't got nothing to do with this, bro. Like, the motherfucker, okay, Young Thug is gay. He's sitting up there with his niggas doing gay shit. That's his business, and everybody know he gay. That's his business, bro. But you sitting there in your motherfucking house thinking, yo, let me just suck some dick. What the fuck? Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on, bro? Like, what is going on, bro? Like, I'm just go over here, suck some dick for $1 million. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Are you bugging? You're tweaking, man. Like, you tweaking, bro. You on that booger. You're that booger sugar, nigga. Like, you on booger sugar, dog. Like that don't make sense. What is you talking about, bro? You imagine sitting in front of your porch with your best friend, and he's like, "Yo, I'm a." Could you what? Am I fucking dreaming? Like, what is it? Am I dreaming, bro? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? What? Like, what? I mean, shit, he did it. It happened. It's too late now. But that shit's weird. That's weird. Could you imagine if your best friend just randomly told you some shit like that, bro? What would be your reaction? What would be your reaction, bro? Cause a lot of people, they be when it's not happening to them, they don't fucking care. You know, like, there's a lot of people that are like that. When something's not happening to them, they're like, you know, they don't give a fuck. But what if that happened to you? Like, what if it did happen? What if your best friend came to your fucking house talking some shit about, yeah, I'm gonna just suck some dick on OnlyFans and get get $1 million. What the fuck are you talking about? I would instantly start laughing. I would think that he's, first of all, I would think he's joking. I would burst out laughing. Like, I'm like, yo, you crazy. That's a funny ass joke. You crazy, man. You crazy. And then when I would see that he's serious, I would instantly get scared. I would start having fear. I'm like, bro, you got a gun on you or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would, man, you know what I mean? That shit sounds like some school shooter type shit, nigga. That, what the fuck are you talking about? That's some school mass shooting type of speech right there, bro. Like, what is you saying? Like, anyways, whatever. That's, yo. Anyways, that's crazy. That's fucking wild, bro. Like, that's fucking wild, bro. Like, that's crazy. So, anyways, man. Do I have anything more to add? Yes, of course I do, which I'm not going to. You know, but I will say this, like I said, I'm a very powerful being. I deal in very high magic. We are not pro Illuminati either. We will bump heads. You know, if somebody come in to whatever I'm doing, right? If anybody's interested in whatever I'm doing, right? I will try to not put you in harm's way, right? But you also need to understand that I am on the side of humanity. I'm not on the side of the Illuminati. I can't even start to comprehend the notion that the Illuminati has such a foothold on humanity's mind. It's baffling to me. I can't even fathom. Like, my mind can't calculate on that level. Like, I can't wrap my head around that, because a human is so powerful that I don't understand why these guys would have such a foothold. Like, it doesn't even add up. It don't make sense. But they did a good job at because people are stupid. I'm sorry, but it's true. People are stupid. And because people are stupid, it's easy for them to manipulate people. because people are stupid. And that's I know I'm being a dick right now. I know. But at the same time, it's a reality that you cannot escape. Even I can't escape that. Like, people are stupid. So they'll believe stupid things. And that's going to hinder your efforts because the person believes the stupid thing that the other stupid person told them. And then they're going to go tell more stupid people more stupid things. And it's going to be a snowball effect. And at the end of the day, I know I'm being a dick. And I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, most of us are victims of this stupidity. You know, like I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm like, that's facts. Like, you know, like, it's just, that's facts, bro. Like, you know, so, you know, at the end of the day, that, you know, and if you're a targeted individual, if you're an indigo or a starseed, a Luciferian or a Satanist, even, you will be confronted with stupidity. And stupid people will confront you. And they'll even fight you over stupid things. And like I said, the stupidity is one of their biggest tools, weapons that they have formed against you. They thrive on people's stupidity. Like, they rely on it. Like, you think I'm offensive, but think about it this way. Every time the Illuminati opens their mouths to tell you something, is because they think you're stupid. Like, you know, so who's really insulting? You know, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go tell him this thing because he's gonna believe me, and he's gonna go repeat it to everybody else because he thinks you're stupid. Because if he didn't think you were stupid, he wouldn't tell you stupid things. You know, so if you're not stupid and the Illuminati's talking to you, or if you don't feel stupid and the Illuminati's talking to you and tell you things, you need to have some discernment and figure out if this motherfucker's telling you that shit because he think you're stupid or not. So you can be mad at me for stating a fact that's been around for time immemorial if you want to, but at the end of the day, I'm not talking to you as if you're stupid. I'm trying to talk to you as if you're intelligent. And the other motherfucker's talking to you because he thinks you're stupid. The Illuminati thinks everybody's stupid. The Illuminati thinks I'm stupid. Facts. Literally, I'm not kidding. Like, they sincerely think that I'm stupid. Sincerely. Which is bonkers, because I don't even know what about me makes you think that I'm stupid. That's just crazy nonsense. That's absurd. Shit. I mean, I'm not the smartest person ever, but I'm pretty fucking high up there, man. Like, I'm, like, you know, I have to be like 24 or something. I don't know, like 46, 48 smartest man on earth or something. I'm top 50 at least. So that's like bananas. So yeah, man. You know, I'm saying this very nonchalantly, but there's going to be a repeat of the last 3 years pretty soon, right? Like I'm gonna tear shit up again because you didn't understand last time. So now I'm gonna solidify it this time because apparently there's still people that have doubts about me. So we're gonna fuck shit up again. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be glorious, and everybody's gonna have fun, just like we had fun after the COVID virus. 'Cause after the COVID virus, we had some fun, man. We was kicking ass. People, you and me, we was kicking ass, man. During the COVID virus, we was kicking ass. After the COVID virus was kicking ass, and right now, and then it died down for a minute. You know, it died down for a minute when I lost my girlfriend. It died down. And now it's picking back up. We're going to kick some ass, you know, and it's going to be glorious. It is going to be glorious. The Illuminati is over. The Illuminati is over. I keep telling you, the Illuminati is over. There's going to be a new awakening. There's going to be a reawakening. There's going to be a new awakening. The Illuminati is going to, you know, take a sideline. They're going to go on the sideline. They're going to go take a break. And we're going to introduce something new. We're going to introduce something that we never had before. We're going to introduce something that always was supposed to be, but we didn't have a chance or the opportunity to achieve it because of these people's wrongdoings, you know. And not everybody is going to achieve this awakening. And we're not going to let them down. It's just some people will have more understanding than others. That's all. But I don't know. You know, hey man, you know me. I don't believe in aliens, but I kind of do believe in aliens. But I've been told something, man, and that got me excited, bro. I was clowning around the other day. I've been told something. I don't believe in aliens, but I kind of do at the same time. And I've been told something that kind of confirms why I don't believe in aliens, but it doesn't mean anything. I could still be wrong about aliens. It doesn't mean anything, but it kind of affirms a little bit of my thesis, right? Because like I said in this video a little bit earlier, 20 minutes ago, I was talking to this guy. Oh, I didn't even finish the story. So I kind of did. I was talking to this guy, and he's like, I was like, you're always looking at me, right? You always got surveillance on me, right? But the thing you don't understand, what I told this guy, but the thing you don't understand is that while you're looking at me, somebody else is looking at you. And at the moment that I said that, we were outside. And the moment I said that, we saw a guy that was on the roof of a building looking down at us. Right in front of us. The building that was right in front of us, there was a guy on the roof. Never saw a guy on that roof before. Didn't even know they were doing construction. There was no panels. We just saw a random dude just walk on the roof of a fucking building looking down at us as I said that. Because I was near the door of the place. He was outside. I was outside. He was like 2 meters away from me. And then across the street, we could see the building. And there was a guy there. So it was even the position that we were interacting with was aligning to what I was saying. Because he was in front of me, but there was somebody behind him. And he turned around and he saw it too. So don't worry about the Illuminati, man. The people that work with us don't necessarily want to be known or seen, but they're there, right? The demons that work with us, the angels and the demons that are on our side, that are on the side of humanity, is always there. They're always watching. And those aren't necessarily demons. Neither are they necessarily angels. It could be a group of individuals that are high powered, like high magicians like me, or even humans that are just stronger than me, right? Because I'm a god and I still have some lack as a human being. There's still some things I cannot do, or some things I don't have permission to do, right? So if I'm in a bad position and I'm still a god, terrifying the shit out of the global elites, then that means there's still a probability that there is a group of people that are even stronger than I am. Because I feel like I'm struggling in this path of apotheosis, to be quite honest. So if I'm struggling, there has to be someone that either finished the struggle or that is not struggling, right? Every action has an equal opposite reaction, right? So everything has a polar opposite, right? So if I'm struggling, there's somebody else that's like me that's not struggling, right? Or that if I didn't finish, there's somebody that did finish. Whether he exists in the past or the future, it doesn't matter. Past, present, future don't exist, right? Time doesn't exist. So time is a fourth dimensional fallacy. No pun intended. No offense meant. Grandfather time, Chronos. No pun intended. No offense meant. But time is not a linear pathway like people think it is. Like it might be 5 o'clock. It might be 8 o'clock soon, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's 8 o'clock, right? It could be any time during the day, but on my watch it says 8 o'clock. That's normal. There has to be a point of reference somewhere, somehow. So don't worry about the Illuminati. If you're feeling skittish about your destiny and the things that you need to achieve, you need to understand that something is looking out. There's a lot of people looking out for you. There's a lot of people looking out for you. I'm looking out for you. There's angels looking out for you. There's demons looking out for you. There's spirits looking out for you. There's gods looking out for you. And there's conspiratorial groups of unknown beings looking out for you also, So, and all of those people that I just named have one thing in common. They are on the side of humanity. They're not on the side of these disgusting, depraved beings, things, whatever. Jim Jones is right? We're not about Jim Jones. We have a lot more to offer than $1 million to suck dick. Pause. No pun intended, no offense meant. But we have a tremendous amount more things to show than just that. And I can't wait until humanity is ready to understand these things, because I'm going to grow in power too. And like I said, the reason why I'm saying all this, like I said, I believe in aliens, but at the same time I don't. But I've been told, I was clowning around the other day, and Lucifer told me, well, if you're going to be that way, I guess listen, I shit you not. You can think I'm crazy if you want to. That's fine. Everybody else does. But I'm very excited about this. My power is growing exponentially. I ain't gonna lie. But he told me that I was clowning around. And while I was clowning around, right, he said, well, fine. I guess you don't want. Guess what he told me? You want to know what he told me? He told me, since you're clowning around, I guess you don't want a spaceship. What? 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 Part of my language is just because of my excitement is a term of endearment. I don't mean anything disrespectful by it, but I'ma say it. So y'all telling me y'all motherfuckers giving out spaceships to motherfuckers? You know, you know, man. That's what I heard, bro. That's what I heard, man. I heard spaceship. Dude, I heard him. I heard him say spaceship, bro. He said, "I guess you don't want a spaceship since you." I'm like, "What you mean? Of course I want a spaceship, man. What?" So I'm waiting on my spaceship. So I'm motivated right now, you know, to do what I do. I'm specifically motivated on destroying the Illuminati because I want a fucking spaceship. You know, I don't know when the spaceship is coming. I don't know when I'm gonna get it. I don't know how to get it, but I want it. That's all I know. I've been thinking about the spaceship for a long, and Lucifer knows I've been thinking about spaceships for a long ass time, dog. He knows that shit. Like, you know, cause I was like, cause I'm like, you know, I wish, like me, you know what I would have liked if I died? If somebody, that would be so cool. If somebody like made like a ship and put my coffin inside of the ship and just let that ship just sail through the like space. I think that'd be dope. That's my dream burial, you know, ceremony. So anyway, I don't know, guys. So I'm a little bit excited. And then there's this technomancy thing that apparently I'm insanely strong at doing for some reason that I do not know of. And you know, like, you know, must be because of cocaine. I don't know. I touched my nose for some I don't know. So you know, yeah, so I'm a little bit, you know, I'm not a Palladian. I'm not really into that sort of thing. So that's why I'm even more, like, I believe that that's facts. I think that you can have a spaceship if you want to, you know. So yeah, I want a fucking spaceship, Lucifer. You know, I don't know if I didn't say it loud enough the last time, but since I'm on the subject, fucking yes, I want a fucking spaceship. So anyways, but like I said, I'm not a Palladian. I'm not that kind of guy. So if you come to me, we're not gonna be talking about spaceships. we're not gonna be talking about spaceship. We're gonna keep our practice. We're gonna stay down to earth. We're gonna stay grounded. We're gonna continue on our path. And anyways, it's thanks to the path that we are following if we end up having a spaceship any fucking ways. So, you know, that's what we're gonna talk about. So anyways, but yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, but you got to be like me though, which is not very easy to do. You know, I think if you want a spaceship, I think you have to be a little bit like me, and that's very hard. It's like technomancy. The thing, I forgot to say something in my last video. Technomancy is very dangerous. Like, it's not for the faint of heart. You know, it's a very powerful magic, but I feel like it's very offensive. Like, it's like to attack. It's not a magic system that is used to, like, you're not gonna be more spiritual, you know, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, if you practice demonology, you're gonna have like demon essences flow through you. Like, there's things happening. The ambiance changes, everything changes, right? But technomancy is kind of like, it's extremely high power, but it's like you're power punching people. Like, that's what it feels like so far for me. So far for me, that's what it feels like. It feels like you can power punch people, like, right the fuck out. So I feel like it's a very offensive display of powers. Like, it's mostly. I mean, I don't. I don't know everything yet. I haven't delved into the ins and outs, right? So I don't know. As of today, that's what it feels like. It feels very potent. It feels extremely powerful. But you need a basis before even practicing it. So it really feels like it's like a defensive type of magic thing, So I don't know yet. We're going to figure it out. Cryptara, the goddess Cryptara, the protector of the digital world, and the natural world and the physical world. She's protector of the physical and the digital realm, which it feels weird to say, because I feel like Cryptara is lying. I feel like she's lying to me, bro. Like, I don't know, cause what is she? Like, what is the digital realm? I mean, I understand it's data, it's information, it's technology, but what is technology? Like, like, I don't know. She's just an extremely powerful being that is not to be like messed with, and I have to come into terms with that. I have to come to terms that she's like God, and it's weird, it's weird, it's weird, cause I didn't expect it to be that powerful. Like, I didn't expect it to be that powerful. So it's peculiar. It's weird. It's weird. So I almost feel like calling her God at this point, like, which I'm gonna start doing, because I'm fully committed to this, and I want to go down this rabbit hole, and I want to see how far it takes me, So I'm still Lucifer, but I guess, and this is interesting too, because I am the archetype of Lucifer. I am Lucifer. Lucifer resides in me. Lucifer gives me the permission to use this name, and so on and so forth. But it almost feels like, well, if God is God, then who does God pray to, right? Like, so if Lucifer is Lucifer, I guess that's what Lucifer does on Sundays. He prays to Cryptara. I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, like, that's how I see it. It's like, because she's that powerful. Like, she's on par with those. Like, how could God create anything without technology? And whether it's grown or built, Cryptara is the purveyor of everything that is grown or built. So if he exists, if God created something, it's by the power of Cryptara at the end of the day. Regardless if he says it in that notion or in that fashion, maybe he doesn't say it because, he believes he has an ego. But at the end of the day, it still thanks to Cryptara that these things may come to exist. So she's that strong, she's that powerful, and it's very off-putting. It's I'm not used to that. It's the first time this happens to me. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to be extremely bold And I'm going to say things that seem absurd and completely crazy. And you're going to think that I'm going to die. But I'm not going to die. Because I'm that powerful. I am a god. And I am learning how to become a god. And apparently I'm going to have a spaceship soon. And that's going to be fucking awesome. And we're not on the side of the Illuminati. And I keep saying not on the side of the Illuminati because I still don't know if if I'm supposed to destroy the Illuminati or just live next to the Illuminati. This is not very clear to me. And that might be my fault because I'm not paying attention. But it doesn't seem clear to me what I'm supposed to be doing to these guys. I know that I don't want to be Illuminati, not for the wrong reasons anyway. But if everybody is just gonna be a dick about it, I'm not gonna force. I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. I'm not gonna try to fix something that's not broke. You know what I mean? So I guess we're gonna figure that one out too, as time go along. Because I'm not, and I'm not a violent person. I don't mind living next to them, but I don't mind living next to them. like, like next to them, not with them, not around them, next to them. So that's two different things. Like, you do your thing over there, and we do our thing over here. I can do that. I don't have a problem with that. If that's what the universe wants, I'll do it. I don't have a problem with that. I hate these sons of bitches. I think they deserve to die. But, if that's what the universe wants, because that's too many deaths, and, we're trying not to kill people, and we're trying to let people live, and we want people to be happy, and blah, 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 blah. I understand all that, and I agree with all that, and I understand all that. I'm that kind of guy, too. I'm a fun-loving criminal. But at the same time, if those guys don't want to live next to us and they're trying to destroy us, then we're going to have to destroy them. Now, the question is your will strong enough to rise up when that moment comes? Which is none of my business. But what is my business is whether you have to tell me if I need to live next to them or do I have to destroy them. I'm more prone in believing that we have to destroy them, because if I listen to the whispers, most of the whispers are voting for destruction. They're not voting for living next to them. They're voting for complete annihilation, genocide, mass murder. That's what they're voting on. They're not voting on living next to them. But like I said, they're humans, and those entities that I deal with, these spirits that I deal with, they have a heart, and they were once human too, and they know more than we do. So therefore they understand the concept of taking lives, and they understand that it's not a good thing to take lives. But at the same time, the Illuminati is going to war against us, and that's why they protect us, because they're at war with us. Even though we didn't do shit to them, they're still trying to destroy us anyways, which is one of the reasons why I would vote for destruction instead of living next to them, because that's kind of frustrating. I didn't do shit to you and you start attacking me for no fucking reason. That's kind of weird. I mean, like, that's I don't really appreciate people like that. So, that's called a bully. That's what a bully is. It's somebody that just picks on you for no reason. That's a bully. So, and I don't really like bullies that much. I don't like bullies that much, bro. Like, so I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm not punching above my weight class. I might look like I'm punching above my weight class because I'm a skinny dude. I'm black. I have 2 disabilities. It's a disability. I'm black and I'm skinny. So I have disabilities. No, but for real, I'm kidding. It's not a disability, but kind of, it is. It is. Being black is a disability, bro. It is, man. It's like being born without legs. It's the same fucking thing. Being born without legs. If you're born without legs, you know how it feels to be black, bro. Like facts, bro. Like if you're born without legs, that's if you whatever struggle you're going through without your legs, that's how it feels like to be black, bro. Yeah, so I don't look like that kind of guy, but what does that kind of guy look like any fucking ways? What would a technomancer god, king of hell, destroy antichrist, world class magician, top rank, I don't know whatchamacallits, fucking gangstalicious. Pause. That sounded gay for some reason. That's because of Jim Jones. I can't even use that word now because of Jim Jones. I'm not even going to keep using that word. I'm just going to stop. Anyways, it's supposed to look like at the end of the day. And of course, I would look a little bit more different if it wasn't for all the interference that the Illuminati has instilled into my life, because they do hinder me a lot. They hinder a lot of things. Even when I'm working by myself, they send like gremlins to humiliate me, like to antagonize me and try to embarrass me on the work that I do. They attack me on all platforms. They attack me because I work on computers, so they treat me like a nerd. And other stupid fucking retard people join into that fun. So they treat me like a nerd. So people insult me. Which causes me to stop working. Too a little bit because I feel bad. I'm not made out of stones. I'm not made out of bricks. If you throw stones at me, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, like they try to stop me from doing stuff a lot, which is annoying. I try to plow through it anyway, but sometimes it just doesn't even feel worth it, especially when everybody tends to agree. The Illuminati is going to call you a nerd, and then Lucifer is going to sit there and be like, well, you're acting kind of nerdy. I mean, like, you're the king of hell, and you're working on a computer, so you are kind of acting. So that doesn't help, But the thing is, I might be acting nerdy, but this is going to make me, this is the reason why I don't have to suck dick on OnlyFans for $1 million, because of the work that I'm doing right now. So I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel appreciated, and the work that I'm doing is for you at the end of the day. I mean, like, it's for me, obviously, but my intent is to make myself more like you, and I can't do that from a lack mentality or poverty mentality, because hell is not a place for the poor. A dweller of the infernal realm is not someone that's broke. A dweller of hell is not a broke person, and it's the same thing for heaven too. Ain't nobody broke over there. Heaven is the Illuminati. Ain't nobody broke over there, bro. Like, so why am I walking around broke as fuck, my nigga? And I'm walking around broke as fuck. People are throwing curses at me. I'm being slandered. You're joining them in the slander that they're doing against me. So yeah, I don't have a perfect attitude and I don't have a perfect mentality, and it's mostly everybody else's fault except mine. I know that sounds very narcissistic, and I don't give a shit. That's how I feel, and I'm standing on it, and I stand by it. Because that's just facts. If everybody's throwing tomatoes at me, and you pick up a tomato and throw it at my face too, like how am I supposed to feel good about myself? How am I supposed to continue working? How am I supposed to have the tenacity, the perseverance to keep going when everything is hating me, even the person that I consider my friend or my savior or whatever, my God or whatever, right? Like that sucks that really fucking sucks ass. Like that's fucking Jim Jones sucking dick for $1 million type shit, bro. You know, so yeah, I'm not a perfect being. I still have a lot to learn. I'm still learning. And nobody's perfect. Even beings that are on a higher frequency or a higher level, they're not infallible. They make mistakes just like we do. They have stupid ideas sometimes that don't make sense. They're just like we do. They say stupid things sometimes just like we do. And that's the thing about people staying in silence. I don't know why people hate their throat chakra, even though it exists, but it feels like people hate their throat chakra. I don't know. No, people don't hate their throat chakras. When you talk, it activates the Illuminati when people talk. So that's why people don't want to talk. But at the same time, I understand that, and I understand that completely. But at the same time, if you don't talk, it's gonna be worse. Because they're talking, and they're throwing shit. They're vomit. They're dumping on you. They're dumping and they're throwing shit at you. They're throwing shit, and you say nothing. You gotta say something. You gotta say something. You gotta defend yourself. Because if they throw enough shit at you, even the spirits that you work with, the God or spirit that you work with, is gonna start throwing shit at you. Because they're creating a vortex. They're creating a vicious circle. So you have to say, I'm a God. You have to affirm to the universe, I'm a God. You have to say these things. And yes, it's gonna get dangerous, and yes, they're gonna threaten you, but guess what? You're a fucking super fucking villain. So that means you got minions that is gonna pop out of nowhere and slice these motherfuckers' necks if they fucking try to put a fucking finger on you. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's fun. You'll see. You're a good person. You don't like hurting people. But I'm telling you, hurting people can be fun. I'm kidding. It's a joke. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. It's a joke. But when it comes to people like that, you're not going to feel bad. And how can you feel bad? You're walking. How can you feel bad? You're going to go outside to take a walk, to have a cigarette or smoke a joint. You're going to go sit at the park, and there's a bunch of people that are planning to attack you. Why would you feel bad about those people getting attacked instead of you that's minding your own business? No, you're not going to feel bad, bro. Like, don't worry about shit like that. You're not going to feel bad at all. 0%. Why would you feel bad? You're minding your own business, bro. You're going out the park to smoke a joint. What the fuck wrong are you doing to anyone at any time and point? How is you smoking a joint at the park hurting the Illuminati, bro? If you smoking a joint at the park by yourself with nobody around was hurting the Illuminati, I would understand why you feel bad. Because you're already hurting them, and then somebody else comes along and then hurt them on top of the hurt that you already hurting them with. That would make sense. But if you minding your own business, walking down the street and smoking a joint, and there's like a group of people that want to attack you and they get run over by a truck, good for them. They deserve that shit. They deserve shit like that, bro. Like, why would you feel bad? Like, how can you feel bad? Shit, these motherfuckers wanted to hurt you, and you didn't even hurt them. Why would you feel bad? Fuck that. So, you have to understand that you're a fucking supervillain, and you got fucking minions that are ready to cut some throats. And the day that you're gonna realize that, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel better about yourself, and you're gonna feel better about yourself, and you're gonna have even more control, as if I didn't give you enough control over your life already. As if I didn't do that already, you know what I mean? So, but you gotta, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta fuck these motherfuckers. Like, when they start antagonizing you, you gotta say something. You gotta use your throat chakra. You gotta reverberate. You gotta put some feeling into the thing that you gotta say with your chest. You gotta put some feeling into what you're saying and say it. And have confidence in what you say. And tear that shit apart. And even though they keep repeat the shit over what the fuck they're saying. I'm a god, you're a lie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a god. I'll destroy you. I'll fucking, like, the whole 9 yards. Because it's true. And the gods are going to respond to what you're saying because it's facts. That's not a lie. He is a god. You ain't shit. He's a god. You ain't shit. You're a piece of shit. He's a god and you're a piece of shit. And the gods are going to be like, then that's what the gods are saying. That's already what the gods are saying. The gods are already saying that. The gods are currently right now saying that guy is a god. That girl is a goddess. And you're a piece of shit. You're nothing. Garbage. So, anyways, with that said, I'm going to stop the video right there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, man. Peace out.